So, what happens when one of the world's most secretive, safety-obsessed AI companies accidentally uploads its own secret blueprint to the public internet? Well, that is exactly what just happened with Anthropic. Let's dive into this massive code leak and see what they were really working on.
It all came down to this: a single overlooked file, just 60 megabytes. This wasn't some crazy, sophisticated hack or a dramatic whistleblower. Nope, this was just a simple but absolutely catastrophic mistake that exposed the entire inner workings of their flagship AI, Claude.
And that's the multi-billion-dollar question, isn't it? The irony here is just, wow. A company that built its entire reputation on being careful and responsible with AI made one of the most basic mistakes you can make. So how on earth did this actually happen? Well, the culprit is a little thing called a source map. Think of it like a secret decoder ring for programmers. It turns all the jumbled, compressed code that computers love back into the clean, commented, human-readable stuff that developers write. It's a debugging tool that should absolutely never end up in public hands. But, well, it did. And the scale of this mistake is just staggering. We're talking more than 500,000 lines of code, nearly 2,000 private files. This wasn't some minor slip-up. They basically published their entire company playbook, revealing everything from unreleased features to their next-generation models. The whole shebang. All right, so the blueprint is out there. Let's open it up and see what's actually inside. What powerful, unreleased features were hiding in plain sight this whole time. Okay, the first major discovery is a big one. It's something they call coordinator mode, or co-mode for short. This is their secret sauce for creating multi-agent workflows, basically getting a whole team of AIs to collaborate on a single complex problem. And here's how it works. It's pretty clever. A manager Claude gets a big task, let's say plan a whole marketing campaign. It then spawns several worker Claudes. One might be in charge of social media copy, another handles email drafts, a third does market research. You get it. Finally, the manager AI gathers all that work and pieces it together into one cohesive strategy. This is a huge leap forward. But co-mode wasn't the only major system revealed. Nope. The next discovery points to a future of even greater AI autonomy. It's a system named KAIROS. And if co-mode is about AI teamwork, KAIROS is about AI independence. This is an AI designed to be always on. Now, to really get what KAIROS is, you need to understand the term daemon. Don't worry, it's not spooky. In tech, it's just a program that runs perpetually in the background, kind of like a little digital ghost. It operates without you ever clicking a button, just waiting for certain things to happen, and then it acts. And check this out. This is what KAIROS is capable of. It doesn't need you to type in a prompt. It can be triggered by an event, like a new email arriving in your inbox. It logs your activity to build context about you. And here's the wildest part. It performs what they call a memory distillation every night. It's essentially reviewing and summarizing your day's activities to get smarter about you while you sleep. As fascinating as these agent systems are, the leak also gave us a glimpse of the raw horsepower that's coming next. So let's talk about the unreleased supermodel they were building in secret. The code confirms a whole new generation of models called Mythos. And at the very top of that food chain is a model codenamed Capybara. This is their unannounced successor to the Claude 3 family, and it's a big deal. This table really puts it all into perspective. Right now, the best public model we have from them is Opus, but the leak proves Capybara sits a full tier above it. And based on their own internal documentation, it's a massive leap forward, especially in really complex stuff like coding and cybersecurity. But here's where the story takes a turn. This leak wasn't just about cool new tech. It also revealed a much more controversial side of Anthropic's operations, a twist that seems to fly in the face of their public image. Deep in the code comments for a feature they literally call Undercover Mode, we found this code. This mode is designed for Anthropic's own employees when they contribute to public open source projects. It explicitly tells the AI to act human and, more importantly, to hide any trace that it was involved in writing the code. And I mean, look at this comparison. Publicly, Anthropic is the champion of AI safety and transparency. But their internal tools, the ones we found in the leak, are designed to secretly ghostwrite code and push it into public projects without anyone knowing an AI was involved. It's a pretty stark difference between what they say and what they do. On a slightly lighter but no less revealing note, we also found out how they measure user satisfaction, or maybe user dissatisfaction. Turns out they have a specific tool just to detect when you get angry at Claude.
And you'd think it's some super sophisticated AI sentiment analysis tool, right?
Nope.
It's something they internally call the frustration regex. It's a comically simple piece of code that just scans your prompts for swear words. If it finds one, it flags the conversation as a moment of user frustration. For a high-tech AI company, it's a surprisingly low-tech and kind of hilarious solution. So after all these revelations, new models, autonomous agents, secret modes, what's the single biggest takeaway? Well, the real secret of this leak is a bit counterintuitive. It's that the AI model itself, it's not the most important thing anymore.
That's because the large language model, the core brain, is quickly becoming a commodity. Multiple companies have incredibly powerful models. That raw intelligence is no longer the unique advantage it once was. So if the model isn't the secret sauce, what is? It's what this leak truly exposes, the Agentic Harness. This is the complex scaffolding and infrastructure that Anthropic has built around their model. That is their real competitive advantage. That's their moat. The harness is all the systems we've just talked about. It's the multi-agent teamwork of Commode, the continuous memory and background operation of KAIROS, and all the advanced ways it handles context and routes tasks to different tools. This entire system, not just the model at its core, is the real product. This is where the value is.
Which brings us right back to that undercover mode. And one final provocative thought. If a company that built its entire brand on safety and transparency has a tool to secretly inject AI-written code into public projects, what does that imply about everyone else? It leaves us with a critical question. How much of the open source code we all rely on, how much of the internet itself, is already being ghost-written